So to get us started, this year marks the 100th anniversary of the Permian Basin, which is a huge milestone. Can you share with us what Baker Hughes' focus is going to be going forward in the Permian Basin?
100 years in the Permian Basin, it's a huge milestone for the Permian. And you think back to the well that put Permian on the map back in 1923 was the Santa Rita well that was founded in Big Lake, Texas. It produced for over 7 decades. And just like Permian Basin has 100 years of experience, so does Baker Hughes. We have over 100 years of innovation that we have developed and brought to the table to bring energy to the world in a safe and efficient manner. And I feel like that's what Baker Hughes brings to the table, to the basin, is that 100 years of legacy and experience to be able to service the market in a safe and efficient manner so we can drill and complete wells safely and more efficiently, and then we can flow sooner and produce longer. And then the second piece of that is we have the ability to service the market to help with the energy transition to further reduce the carbon footprint our industry has in the Permian Basin.
Yeah, I know energy transition is a big point. It's a big focus going forward, especially I think so far in 2020. Moving to your career, what got you into the oil and gas industry and what keeps you here?
Okay, so getting into oil and gas, honestly, oil and gas found me. I needed a job, and I was actually going to college full-time and working as well, paying for college. And so I started trying to figure out how could I get a better job to help me finish college, and Baker Hughes was the answer to that. I interviewed for my first job at Baker Hughes, and that manager did not hire me. However, he looked at my experience and talked to another manager and said, I think she'd be better suited for a role you have. And I interviewed for that role, and they made me an offer as an inventory analyst. And so I started out as an inventory analyst 19 years ago, and here I am 19 years later with all these opportunities to work in many different areas within Baker Hughes, from starting off with that inventory role, finance, marketing, technology, supply chain, manufacturing, commercial, and now senior leadership.
Can you describe for us a significant moment in your career so far?
Yeah, so for me, if I look back in my 19 years, there's really 2 defining moments for me in my career. The first one was about 10 years ago when I had the opportunity to lead one of our largest machine shops in Baker Hughes during the Shale Revolution. Oh, wow. So it was, and not having any manufacturing experience. So I really ran to the fire in that role, and we had to, make a significant increase in output to be able to meet the market demand. And then the second is today. And I think leading the Permian is very similar, running to the fire, a very challenging, fast-paced market. And when I look at both of those milestones for me, it's roles where you are in a very fast-paced, challenging environment, and that allows you to learn at a very accelerated rate.
You might have already answered this, but what would you say has been the biggest challenge or risk as a woman in your career so far?
So obviously being a female in this industry, we, several of us get this question asked on a frequent basis, and I can honestly say for me, I've always approached a challenge with a very non-biased mindset. So I've never approached it with gender bias in mind. And I think as women, we approach every challenge as, simply put, a challenge, and it's a challenge that I can learn from and grow from and surround myself with the people who have the experience and knowledge. Then I think that you can overcome any challenge, whether you're male or female.
So on advice for younger professionals, what would you give a younger professional looking to start their career in energy?
My advice for a young professional in the energy industry is to be a learn-it-all and not a know-it-all, and listen to respond, or listen to understand and not respond. Once you put those set of ears on to listen, it's amazing what you can learn. And we are faced with that challenge of several experienced professionals that will be departing our industry over the next 5 to 10 years. And being able to learn from those individuals to carry our path forward is really critical to our business. And so my advice to all the young professionals is really actively listen, and guess what? You ask the questions and you listen to learn. Everyone around you is more than willing to give you their experience and knowledge.
How important are mentors for women in the industry?
Very important. It is very important to surround yourself with mentors, and my advice is to surround yourself with more than just one mentor. So you can gain various perspectives and insights from various people in the industry, and that includes maybe people within your company and outside your company. And then it's up to the employee or the individual to take all of that perspective and insight and form their own path forward. So I think it's no different than if you're working a project or you're working a challenge. You gather data, as much data as possible, to make an informed decision about your career.
What does being chosen as one of the 25 most influential women in energy mean to you, and how important are programs like this for the industry?
So, well, first of all, I am completely honored to be in this class of Hart Energy's 25 most influential women. It's just such an honor and a privilege, and it would not be possible without all of those people that have supported me in my 19 years at Baker Hughes, and that goes both personally and professionally. And I think it's really important for the program's very important so that women can see that if you work hard and you listen and you learn and you dream big, anything is possible.
Yeah, I think it also brings out that there are women in the industry. I think this kind of gets forgotten sometimes when you look at like maybe CEOs or something like that. There are women in higher positions, and this kind of highlights it.
Exactly. That anything is possible if you set your mind to it and you really just dream big and surround yourself with people who can help you, support you. And again, that learning piece, making sure you're learning from everyone around you and you're growing and developing, then anything is possible. You can go anywhere.
Thank you so much, Jaime, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Emily, for having me, and thanks again to Hart Energy for this amazing award.
For Hart Energy, I'm Emily Patsy.